Up next, the Adult Entertainment Radio Show.
You're listening to Unregular Radio. The following program may be intended for adults only. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of Unregular Radio, its staff, or affiliates. Furthermore, you should not attempt to recreate any of the situations described, as it may prove to be physically, legally, or financially harmful. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hold on to your seats. You are about to engage in a listening experience unlike anything you have ever listened to before. We now present to you Adult Entertainment Radio.
All right, what is going on, everybody? It's the Adult Entertainment Radio Show. This is episode 31, am I correct?
Yes.
Something like that.
Or 32?
32.
Who knows?
Somewhere in the 30s, young 30s.
I think so. We missed a couple of weeks there. It's hard to tell.
I lost track. It's almost like when after you hit 30 years old, you lose track of your age. And it's kind of, I'm 30-ish. Something like that.
Oh, I got a phone call, and it's Brianna. So,
right. I'll run it. There you go.
But with us right now, we do have a friend of the show, Sam J. is here.
How you doing, Sam J?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Good.
First, you speak right into the mic there.
I'm up to...
It's our second time on the show, right?
Yes. I'm going to run out really quick, but I'll be right back, folks.
After these messages, right?
Yeah.
Hey, while you're down there, give me a hooker.
Can do.
All right, awesome. If you want to give us a call here on the show, it's 617-206-1050. It's 617-206-1050. Sam, how have you been since the last time we talked?
Yeah, I've been real good.
Yeah?
A lot of shows, been busy.
Last time you were on, we had that crazy girl, Melissa Cote, on.
She now follows me on Facebook.
Does she really?
Talks to me a lot, unsolicited.
Yeah. Yeah, she, I think I actually had to block her on Facebook because she was becoming absolutely a pain in the ass.
Yeah, she's, she has good intentions.
She does. She was funny.
Yeah.
She was definitely a liability.
Yeah.
But for the most part, she was definitely entertaining. Actually, a couple of my buddies that never really listened to the show before, and we were in Baltimore this weekend, and I was like, hey, this is a perfect episode to listen to. So they listened to it, and I go, just listen to the shenanigans that this girl does on the show, screaming and yelling, and the ups and the downs and all that stuff. And she, I think we got 2 more listeners to listen consistently on the show now. So I guess that worked out pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, then we won.
Absolutely. And what have you been up to since the last? Anything exciting? You still doing the comedy scene?
Yeah, just working, doing a lot of out-of-town stuff.
Yeah.
Which has been cool.
Nice. Where have you, what cities have you been to?
New York, New Jersey, Maine, Vermont, of course, like the New England states.
Yeah.
I'll be in Cleveland on Friday.
Nice.
Rochester on Saturday and Buffalo on Sunday. So
you say Cleveland on Friday?
Yeah.
You fucking branching off out of getting the Northeast covered, huh?
Yeah.
Cleveland's a good town. Actually, I was there 3 years ago to see a baseball game and stuff. It's a weird town because everything is like, you get the ballpark, and you get the baseball stadium, and then you get where the Cavaliers play.
Right.
All in this area, and there's a couple bars and some stuff to check out and everything. But once you leave that area, it's like you're in the middle of an industrial zone.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's all factories and oil refineries and stuff like that. Yeah,
they're a big factory town.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping I just get to see some people burning LeBron's jersey in effigy.
Brianna just joined us. How you doing?
I did.
What's going on?
Not a whole lot. I locked myself out of my apartment earlier, so that was
Congratulations.
pain in the ass.
Would you break in?
No, I had to call my landlord, and he's very Asian, so that was
must
a little tough to deal with.
That conversation you should have recorded because I'm sure it was more entertaining than anything else.
I did not have my recorder. JR has my recorder.
I have it with me, actually, in my bag, so...
Just want to keep all the listeners stay tuned at 8:30 tonight. Dr. Steve from Weird Medicine, the highly rated podcast, also heard on Sirius XM and on the Opie and Anthony show. We'll be calling in at 8:30. We have a few questions to ask them. That should be interesting.
Pretty excited about
so that should be cool. And then at 9:05 from... Baseball Park Chases?
Ballpark Chases.
Ballpark Chases.
Yep. Craig Landgren.
Yes, he'll be calling in, and we have some questions to ask about his blog.
You have some questions.
Yes, I actually, because that's basically what I do. I chase these ballparks. like I chase teenage girls on the weekend.
Heyo.
How you guys been? Anything exciting happened in the last week?
No, I just like it was like my misunderstanding of sorts. Like my roommate kind of like flipped out on me.
You're still with the same roommate, right?
Yes, I am still, and it's just it's obnoxious and just like it's weird because he's making it weird.
Okay.
Like, he admitted that he overreacted to something, and like because he thought I was ducking him like on paying my part of the utilities, but I just like avoid conversation with him in general.
Okay.
Because he's boring. He watches like Law and Order reruns and cooking shows all the time. And we don't have a lot in common.
And how do you get away with? I'm confused. Like ducking the utilities.
No, it's just he thought that I because he had mentioned it earlier in the week. I hadn't really thought about it. Yeah. And then he mentioned it again like on Saturday, after I had gone in and out of the house a couple of times. And so he kind of flipped on that and felt like I was like trying to duck him on paying my part of the utilities, which is ridiculous because I lived there and I knew what it was. I just hadn't brought it up, and I figured he would have. And he flipped out and like locked me out like briefly. And like asked me to move out, and then like a half an hour later, like tearfully came to my room and like apologized. And he's been apologizing like since, and it's just like, I don't
bipolar. Or?
I have no idea, dude. Like,
does he have a crush on you?
I don't. I doubt it entirely. And even if he does, it's kind of a moot point. It's just like it. Like I'm talking to him and I literally said to him, like, look, dude, I'm pretty sure I have like Asperger's, like to like try and level the playing field and be like, look, dude, like I get it. People like mess up, and like don't worry, there's no feelings of ill will. He's like, yeah, but I'm still gonna feel bad about it. And I said that to him, like I go, like, yeah, well, like don't worry, man. Like shit happens. I probably have Asperger's. He goes, yeah, I even noticed.
Wow.
Like fuck, dude. Like,
a little ass he is,
not even trying to.
You need to find a new place to live.
I need to find a new job first before I do that. Not that I dislike my job, but if I'm going to move, I need to like at least make more money somewhere else before I do that. But
well, before we go any further, Sam Ike is here. How you doing, Sam?
I am here. Hey, hello.
What's going on?
Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely. It's hashtag tonight. Sam Squid.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was clever.
Yes, it's the first time we had two Sams at once.
Thank you for spending your time with us White Devils this evening. We really appreciate that.
Really bringing some color into the room because we don't want to. People think we're a clan sometimes when we're sitting up here. It's like
the show does get pretty Caucasian. It does.
It's nice. It's nice to mix it up a little bit. Make sure
PJ Brown doesn't really. He didn't add that much color to our show.
He's like mocha. He's like black light.
But personality-wise, he's whiter than I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
I don't even listen to Goat Whore, and he does. Like that's how metal he is.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to fill out this color barrier for you guys. Like,
filling out the quota.
We're making quota.
Yeah. I'm so happy you're not getting sued now.
We don't want the NWA CP coming to
the NWA CP. Oh my god! Yo,
what is it?
Dred Scott v. Board of Education, motherfucker.
The NAACP.
That's it. Yes. I always get that in the National Association for Retired People, the AARP. Yeah, I get those two mixed up all the time. It's really awkward when you're having a conversation about like an old white man and you said the wrong thing. Mr. Ike, this is your first time on our show.
This is my very first time. My fucking cherries being popped here.
Nice.
I'm excited.
And what a better place than adult entertainment radio?
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, this is exciting. I think I did Big Sauce.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But JR is definitely better looking than Chris Timony. So
thank you.
I'm just gonna say
he has a better hairline.
He really does. Who give him? He has beautiful hair.
He does.
That man has a beautiful hair
and hair to spare on his body too. He's very Greek.
Looks like he has a sweater.
Timony?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was at the Comedy Studio last Thursday and they were doing Ken Reed's doing his yearbook thing where he takes somebody's yearbook for like a week and goes through it and makes notes. That was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life because they did Timony's yearbook. And he graduated high school in like 91 or something. And I don't know. It was completely obscene. Everybody looked so 80s and they were like, funny thing about that, not the 80s.
Did he have the same hair?
Yeah.
I bet it was.
Actually, it was like a white guy flat top.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah.
How did I picture that?
Like LA style?
Yeah, kind of. It was so.
It's hard to tell with like the way they frame up those pictures. You couldn't see if he had the steps in the side though. Like that, or the fade lines. That I don't.
My last week of high school, I had an afro, and
nice.
I shaved the sides off, and I had the Will Smith Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
The high top.
It was nice. It was sick, man. I was getting not any pussy, but it was. It was.
Wait, that didn't help?
It made a really cool picture.
It's funny. There is a guy on the New York Knicks that is sporting the high top right now. I was in the game Sunday. I forget his name. And I'm like, he's making it work though. It's like I went on a time machine on him. It's 1991.
Yeah.
And,
Norris Cole.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
I like it. I want to try to do it, but it just turns into a blowout.
I'm trying to grow mine.
You gotta grow it? Yeah, you just cut it out.
It's coming along.
Yeah.
No, is the kind of off to the side Gumby one like Bobby Brown used to do in the '90s? Is that going to come back too? You know, it was tilted to an angle. I love that. I miss. You know who had a great fade was fucking Tupac and Juice.
Yeah.
That was he rocked that shit. It was.
I have my haircut like that for
nice.
JR wishes his hairline was better so that he could pull that off.
Hey, how beautiful is this? We're 10 minutes in. There's two black people here, and
we're talking.
Neither of them were the ones that made the reference to Juice. Neither of the black people made the Juice reference.
JR secretly wishes he was black.
He's
true.
like, I can't say no to that.
I don't know. Well, but I also wish I was Jewish too. You know,
yeah. He wished he was black for the penis, and he wished he was Jewish for the income,
or just the sense with how to handle money in general.
You act a little Jewy sometimes. So.
I think I'm just really I think that's just a neurosis.
No, yeah, it's the neurotic part, and you do the Mort Goldstein or Goldberg or whatever voice.
Like Saul Rosenberg, from
Saul
Rosenberg. I don't know if I can. It's very scary outside, and I get nauseous. Fuck, I'm terrible. Yeah, this guy has a hell of a flat top. Check that out.
Yeah.
And floating sideburns too, which I like.
That's smooth.
You really only see that on skinheads, the floating sideburns.
It's pretty impressive.
But he pulls it off well.
White guys can't do the flat top very well. I had one when I was a kid. It doesn't go higher than an inch and a half. Then
you just look like
it starts falling out.
You just look like you're in basic when you're a white guy with a flat top. Though.
Yeah,
you look like a jarhead.
And then when it goes too far, it looks like a flappy vagina. It just starts going everywhere.
Who's your barber?
Oh man!
Or was it
Where did you come up with
down the middle?
Vagina reference?
Because when
it
grows too long, it just hangs over. It's
like your Nick Carter.
Yeah, it's like floppy lips.
You get roast beef curtains on your hair,
and then it turns into a mushroom cup, and then you just look like a penis. So it's amazing the transition your hair can go from one place to another.
Your hair had a sex change operation.
Oh yeah, no kidding. I went to a bachelor party this weekend in Baltimore. And
that sounds horrifying.
It was the scariest and most fun situation of my life.
Are there any swingers clubs?
No. Well, this is the funny story. It's the guys I went with. I really haven't hung out with in 5 or 6 years. So we're sitting there after golf and we're having some beers, and I'm like, I said something about a swingers club reference, and they're like, what? And I started opening up the vault of all the stories. I go, don't you guys listen to the radio show? I go, because if you did, you noticed already. And they sat there with their mouths open, wanting more and more and more stories throughout the whole weekend. And they're like, well, tell us another swingers story. So I'm like, well, all right. So I was.
So what, you sound like you're losing your voice? You were telling stories over
That's basically because for Saturday night we're in Baltimore. We went to the strip club and a couple clubs and stuff. We got back to the hotel around 3:30. I had 4 o'clock. We had a few beers at the hotel. At 4:30, I was taking a cab to the airport to take a nice 7 o'clock flight back to Boston, so I could work in the morning, then go to the Celtics game, and then work at night on 90 minutes of sleep or whatever long the flight is. So then I got about 3 hours of sleep last night. So in the last 72 hours, I've been going on about 4 hours of sleep.
You don't sleep much anyways.
I don't. So it didn't really bother me that much. There was a lot of Red Bull, and there was stripper vagina juice on me at the strip club and stuff, and it was nice. It was
so bottomless, like full nude club, not
yes. And here's the problem: I wanted to take the guys to Baltimore Street, and allegedly Baltimore Street is a block, they call it, which is like 20 strip clubs in one block, and it's anything goes type of places. If you know,
more like Blue Baltimore Street.
I think when you say it's a street with 20 strip clubs, you don't need to add on anything goes.
Yeah.
I think we got
it's like Providence, Rhode Island, but everything's on one block. Yeah. So it's like everyone's in competition with each other, but it's in the middle.
The alleys there must be horrifying.
Well, no, it's literally in the middle of the ghetto, and when you get let out, the guy who we went with lives in Baltimore, and he's like, when we want to go to bars afterwards, you don't want to, because the cabs don't even drive down those streets. You got to walk back. Wow. And I'm like, I really want to go, because this is what I live for.
I'm that much of a deviant. I'll risk getting stabbed for a handy in the champagne room.
We ended up going to this place called the Ritz Cabaret, and it was actually pretty good. It was better than I thought for Baltimore girls. I thought they were going to have like C-section wounds and gunshot
wounds and C-section scars.
I don't know, man. There was some pretty hot women on the wire, so.
Well, yeah. I fell in love with one girl, and she was just, I was making it. There was actually a guy making it rain from the balcony above. He was just dumping. It looked like he robbed the bank, and he was dumping a bag of $1 bills on it. It was phenomenal. And
bring like a bunch of rolls of pennies with you.
Well, it reminded me of the Glass Slipper downtown in Boston, because the one time I was there was a guy wearing a Ben Coates jersey, and he was rolling up $1 bills and throwing them at the girl at like fastballs, like he was Nolan Ryan, and they were bouncing off of her, giving her mini paper cuts all over her naked body.
How do you not get kicked out for that? I know it's a strip club, but
I thought you couldn't do that. Whatever strip club I've been to, you get thrown out for that.
If you see what the guy looked like, I don't think anyone would want to kick this guy out. He was a scary mother effer.
But the Glass Slipper's like really like
standard. That's the old. It was the old Glass Slipper, the one that was across the street, and the building no longer exists.
Yeah, that place
was
pretty.
Sketchy.
That was the first strip club I ever went to.
Was it really? Yeah.
And I was
$9 per night.
It was weird.
The girls were in rough shape there. Very rough.
Yeah, it just was really seedy. Like, I think this dude was like actually masturbating near me.
No, absolutely.
And that was really problematic.
There was a shooting there, like a year ago, and it was these two guys were trying to horn in on this guy's like private booth, who was in a wheelchair.
That's awesome.
And the guy in the wheelchair shot the two of them because they were just like trying to steal his booze and like take some of the girls.
My buddy, we took one of my buddies there for a bachelor party, and he disappeared for a few minutes, and apparently a stripper followed him to the bathroom and was blowing him in the bathroom.
Whoa, wait,
and then
that's costing extra.
For free. And then the bouncer opened the door and seen his wiener in her mouth, and
I love how childish you go with your you're saying like fuck and twat and stuff, but here and they'll throw in a wiener here and there. That's just.
And all of a sudden we see him getting matched out by the bouncer. We're like, "What's up?" He's like, "We gotta leave." I go, "All right, we go out there," and she's like, "She was sucking my dick." I'm like, "Good for you. How much did it cost you?" He's like, "She did it for free. I was getting married. She said I deserved it."
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. You really want to get free head from a stripper?
No, I mean, I don't even want to get paid head from a stripper. You know how I feel about HIV, which is a great segue, because at 8:30 tonight, Dr. Steve will be calling, and one of the questions I have, what happened to him? Up there, yeah.
I saw the email, yeah.
Yes, can I get HIV? See, Arty's terrified of HIV. Can you get HIV from oral sex or fingering a girl?
Ice Cube told us in Boys in the Hood already.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess by proxy, because he did kind of.
Said that he let the dope fiends.
Yeah.
Suck his dick. I'll let him suck. He was like, "You get AIDS from that too, you stupid motherfucker."
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I'm just gonna go with whatever other people tell me.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not a leader.
I believe in Ice Cube.
Yeah.
I believe in Ice Cube. So I can't wait to ask somebody. So Jay has some good questions for the doctor. And I'm sure he'll take some questions on the fly from you guys, too, when he calls in. So when he calls in, feel free to join in on the festivities.
Mine are mostly to stick it to Mike Kerrigan, like when he called, talking about fluoride and GMOs like a dummy.
If fluoride does nothing, then why do they make you sit with that shit in your mouth at the dentist for like a half hour with fluoride treatment?
Well, no, he's talking about water fluoridation.
No, I know,
program,
but if fluoride does nothing, then why would they do that at the dentist?
No, fluoride itself is effective. They're just questioning the effectiveness of actual water fluoridation for cavity protection.
Saying it's killing us, our brains.
But people are taking it further and saying, like Arty's saying, that it's turning us into adults, and we're Like what was that movie? They Live with Rowdy Piper. Like, did anybody ever see that?
No.
John Carpenter movie.
No, nobody's seen that.
No, they
You're a movie from Video Underground.
I've taken the time to.
Do you get that at Video Underground?
Fuck Video Underground. Boycott Video Underground in Jamaica playing. Bunch of mouthy hipsters. Hey, you know who doesn't
Are you
give...
talking
should
about
see if
boycotting a fucking video store?
Yes. Because I hate them.
Just give it 2 weeks. It's gonna be closed.
Oh, I've been... No, they're...
He's been boycotting since September.
No, well, December, actually. Yeah.
I wonder if we took any business away from this place, or just the economy.
I don't think we have.
Oh, the economy's killing it by itself.
I don't care. I just want everyone to know that I hate them, and I hope that they fail. And
Should see if they'll
you guys-
sponsor the
what's your
show.
They failed.
Yeah, when you tell them the story, it's been a while.
Video store business in 2000.
We get it's been a few weeks, so a few months since we went over why JR really passionately hates this place.
Oh, okay. So look, it just comes into this. I asked about a movie that they didn't have. I asked one person there, and they said, "Yeah, we don't have it, but let me put in something and come back in a week and ask about it again." I go and I ask a completely different employee, and he was a mouthy dick the whole time. He just had a whole lot of like holier than thou, like hipster attitude bullshit. And you know who doesn't give you that? The search bar on Amazon.com. So fuck them. I hope they fail. And
What was the movie you were asking
what do you?
for?
It was the movie was Biozombie. It's from 1998.
Yeah.
It's
I would
exactly
probably
what they
treat
would
you
have.
the same way, JR.
Have you been to the store? It's exactly what they would like have for rent on their shelves.
Well,
they
they
specialize in like cult videos and like and weird like indie films and stuff like that.
So no Meet the Parents.
They have that as well, but again, they specialize in the weirder titles. It would be something that it's a great fucking movie.
Did he
It's
not approve of your like selection or?
No, he just like instead of saying, "Oh, I'll put in an order for that for you," he like rolled his eyes at me and then said, "Oh, I don't think we'll have that in for a while."
Do you think they have bus?
Yeah, dude, I don't have time for that shit, dude. Go fuck yourself.
So one guy gave you an attitude,
Yes,
and you want
and I-
to take down an entire company.
Goddamn right,
a
dude.
small mom and pop shop.
I don't do it.
You want to ruin it.
I'm that
because
petty.
one guy gave you an attitude.
Yes.
There's
Especially
like a stack of
'cause I think he's
newspapers
an
on the counter. JR just wipes all of them off and is like, fuck
Do you think they have bust a nut in Grandma's butt?
I'm sure they do. There's a porno section in there. I don't know if it's that one specifically.
But I'm going to Video Underground. after
You're
the show
going,
today.
so you're going to rent pornography like a mook? It's on the internet for free, you
Well,
dipshit.
that's another conversation we had too with my
Hey,
friends.
but
this
it doesn't
weekend.
have the same production
No,
quality.
I know you can get any of it for free.
Well, I pay for-
There's tube sites all over.
I
the
pay
place.
for a subscription so I get full-length movies monthly. And my friends were fascinated. I pay for pornography. I go, like, I like the quality, and I know
I have very specific
Yes,
tastes, like nurses I see on the bus who I find lookalikes
right.
in certain high school
I go,
yearbooks.
I like the amputee porn.
You really?
I like the midget porn. I like.
Seen midget
Now, is this
porn.
what you're telling them, or do you actually enjoy this?
No,
as well?
but if you like it, this is what they have.
Okay, but what do you
Do you
like? Is
like-
what we're
Yeah.
at.
It depends. Like, if I met a,
He likes old people.
What's like? Okay, we won't go into all of them. But what's the weirdest like thing that you would say you like? That's a niche taste of yours, like midgets or
say I met a hot girl on the train. Well, I say I didn't meet her. Say I seen her, and I got her name tag, and I Facebook stalked her, and then she happened.
He-
Yeah, no,
he
we
likes
covered that.
porn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
know
covered
about your
He
serial
likes
killer.
porn
fetish.
of girls that look like girls he's seen.
Yeah, but she
in real
happened to
life.
be missing an arm. Okay, so I'll go and see if I could find a girl that looked like her missing an arm.
So look-alike
Holy
amputee porn.
shit.
Yeah.
So you'll
Look-alike amputee. That is very specific.
Yeah,
So you jerk off to women that
there's-
look like women that you find.
You don't do
Like
that.
finding,
He hasn't.
like,
No,
He'll
it gets
go to
better.
the library
I-
and
he
he'll
hasn't-
find their high school yearbook and
He's
he'll,
admitted to having an Excel spreadsheet.
I got a spreadsheet
Like,
on this.
That
Seems like
spreadsheet.
so much fucking
So, like,
work.
for example, I can
he's
bring it
finding
up.
like porno doppelgangers.
Brianna Klassen looks like Sally Meyer.
whoa.
There's a
So there you go. So I can compare and contrast. If I want to jerk
Isn't
up to
there
Brianna,
isn't there like a website for that you can put in like someone's picture and it kind of like
Google image
and it like layers it against somebody else's or something because it
maybe, but you know what? That's a good
How
idea.
do you not know that
Say there's
already?
not.
is
Wait,
what I'm
have
asking.
you jerked off to a porn star that looks like me?
I've also jerked off to one who looked like JR too.
Oh, tell me he was a bottom.
Oh man.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So
I just want
actually
people to
wrote-
think I'm that pretty.
I wrote a stand-up joke about that, Arty, that if you're making a spreadsheet for any reason other than making a budget or a schedule,
accountant.
you might be a sociopath and
Could
you
be.
should probably see a therapist.
we came to a conclusion this weekend that I'm also I am a sociopath and I have a severe OCD. And they found it funny that I would put a dollar bill in my mouth and suck it to a stripper, but I wouldn't use metal utensils at the restaurant. I brought a plastic fork with me.
Wait. We've never gone over that before.
Yeah.
You Jack Nicholson in it.
with him.
Sometimes.
With
Depends if I'm not familiar with the restaurant. It was a breakfast joint. It's like a greasy spoon. I brought my own plastic fork.
I guess that's not completely unfair, but at the same time, like, wow, dude.
At the restaurant, at the bar,
You know how filthy dollar bills are? And how disgusting
that is true, too.
strippers in Baltimore are?
They're covered in cocaine and hepatitis.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about not the money. Ha ha.
Yes, I bring my...
I like how you did the elbow
to nobody.
Nudge like you were nudging a buddy, and you did it on the side where nobody's there.
I like throwing in a visual element on radio. I think that's the best way to go about that as a medium.
Yeah, no, I do that. I always, like, people in my DOP kit has a razor, it has a toothbrush, it has shaving cream, and it has a bunch of plastic forks and knives, just in case.
Weird.
No spoons, though. Just plastic spoons are useless.
Well, because I found out if you get a lighter to the plastic fork, you can turn it into a spoon.
Oh. See,
wow, now you're making your own spoon.
We did that.
Come on, Arty.
I don't even know where to chime in on this.
You've been kind of quiet, I think, Sam. Like I think Arty's actually managed to weird you out.
I'm a hypochondriac.
And not that you're like a super weird cat, but you've seen some shit.
I'm trying to find the right balance of what I like, and I haven't figured it out yet.
I've seen some shit.
I keep slouching.
Yeah, no, it's like strip clubs I don't find dirty, but I find
or money. Or
truck stop bathrooms. I don't find that dirty either.
Have you ever actually seen a glory hole in any of the truck stop bathrooms you've been to?
I did see a glory hole in one of those peep show places up in Seabrook, New Hampshire.
Maybe it's because you go in with the expectation of filth in those places.
Yeah, I think so.
And so you're not
so your standards are just lowered right away.
That's true.
Whereas at a restaurant, you have this expectation of cleanliness, and then you don't trust them to uphold them. It's like the strip club's going to be dirty.
Yeah.
I saw a glory hole one time.
Right.
Did he use it?
Really?
No. But I poked my finger through it.
This guy's small. Was he 7?
Might have been in there. Right?
Nothing happened, but I poked my finger.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but where your finger had touched, somebody else's dick had probably touched.
True.
Well,
Who makes the glory hole? Does the janitor go in there with a drill and one of those bits that
No, you have to buy the wall with the glory hole. It comes pre-glory holed.
There's a fabrication place in Sandusky, Ohio that makes fucking glory hole stalls.
The one that I seen was at a peep show booth with the video peep shows. And if you decide you're getting in the mood, you just want to throw your dick in the hole to the guy next to you doing what you're doing, then go by all means.
Throw your dick in the hole. What happens when two people both try to throw their dick in the hole and nobody wants to be the sucker?
You just touch eyes.
That's what happens when
wants to be the
It's embarrassing.
When two buses crash, the same thing. It's a big mess. A lot of mangled pots. I unfortunately can't get when I get my dick in the glory hole, I barely the head's poking. It was a thick wall. It was a masonry wall.
Someone drilled through brick.
It was
for a glory.
How
old was the house?
It's a middle-aged glory hole.
I always see
it was in a church pew.
I always see
not in the confessional.
Ads, come to my glory hole. It's
And is there much glory in the glory hole?
No, it's very.
It's not glorious
There's no glory involved.
It must be awkward after you get blown in a glory hole, and then the both of you are walking out of the booths adjacent to each other, and you meet each other, and you catch his eyes for the first time. Or do you have a delayed wait, and you listen to the other door to close? Then you leave.
Yeah,
all right, I'll give it 5 minutes. I don't want to see this guy in the hallway.
Yeah, you can't make eye contact afterwards.
Weird.
Yeah, you gotta. I imagine if I used one, I'd have to take out my phone and play a couple rounds of
absolutely
I'll play Words with Friends for a little bit.
You listen to all right, he's leaving.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, and you have to walk, boom, boom, boom. All right,
You have to wait till you hear the door shut.
That's right.
and go out.
All right, he's done.
I think the creepier thing is leaving and then if you made eye contact with the guy who's about to use it next.
Oh yeah,
Like that, I feel like that's the scariest one.
The guy has to clean it up afterwards with like the pneumonia and the paper towels and stuff. And
All I can think of right now is
yeah.
it's like Always Sunny when they find a glory hole in the bathroom.
I wonder what percentage.
I never saw that.
I would never use a glory hole ever.
Gets lonely out on the road.
The only reason I wouldn't use this because I saw that movie Teeth in high school.
Okay,
nice.
You know that movie?
Yeah.
Isn't that about a vagina that has teeth?
Vagina dentata.
And like she uses it to like bite the dude's dicks. I'm scared that I stick my dick in the glory hole. So chops off my dick. Like that's what I'm scared of. Like
I'm scared when regular girls do that anyway, so I can see their face. I don't trust them.
That would be the place to chop off dicks if you're into that type of thing.
Oh yeah.
Like if you
Glory
were
hole situation.
you're in a dick chopping.
Yeah, like you should definitely be like frequenting glory holes if that's what you do.
When you hear a chainsaw start up, that's when you probably should be able to.
Okay, so if you're at a bar and you see Lorraine Bobbitt and you go in the bathroom and there's a glory hole, don't use it.
Lorraine Bobbitt, she was cute, huh?
If I saw Lorraine
Cut a
Bobbitt
penis
go
off,
into the
though.
bathroom, my first reaction wouldn't be, "Hey man, I think she'll suck my dick through a glory hole." My first thing is, "Hey, how'd I end up in this fucking bar? How did I get here? These are the guests.
This is the greatest bar ever.
And it has a glory hole? Are you kidding me?"
And the best is if you go to a bar called the Glory Hole, then you know it's up.
Oh, that's
We should open a bar called the Glory
I
Hole.
went to a bar called the Back Door,
Whoa.
and it was in Louisville, Kentucky. It was fucking like a biker bar. All the guys had ZZ Top beards down to their dicks and everything like that. And I'm like, is this like a fetish gay bar?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I went to
Do you mean a leather bar? Is that what you're asking?
Bar, yeah.
I went to a bar in Philadelphia called The Alley, and it's actually an alley.
Nice.
It was fucking cool. You walk down this...
Sounds very hipster.
Yeah, it totally was. Like,
Well, it's just a bunch of people drinking in an alley. Like normally they call those homeless people. But
it was an alley, and it had these heated walls, and it was insane. You were outside in an alley, but there was a bar and shit. It was fucking neat.
Is that like a 2 fedora minimum when you have to get in?
They did have like a trash can tray, like the tray that the bartenders were using. It was like a
trash can lid.
It was a top. Yeah, it was a lid of a trash can.
That's awesome.
It was fucking cool. Yeah.
I went to a lesbian bar in New York called the Cubby Hole. And actually, it was me, and I was the only guy there that was straight, and there was a gay bartender, but there was all lesbians in there. It was phenomenal. Because I walk into that place, I'm like, I'm going to change some lives tonight.
Yeah, you think it works like that?
I was about to say, I don't think it works that way.
yeah, he's going to change their life when he's like, no, just a hand job, please. Thank you.
Oh, you're getting off easy.
Could you just
thanks,
jerk
sweetie.
me off a little bit? That'd be great. Thank
And
you.
when I'm done, I'm just going to leave.
You just walk.
I hope this changes your mind.
I hope this makes you further hate men.
Straight dudes at lesbian bars like stick out like sore thumb.
Oh, I stuck out.
Oh, it's so
I looked like I was. I was like I was the
And you
situation.
just look like a real perv.
Well, I didn't.
Like, we all know what you're in here for.
I didn't
It's
go
like,
by
excuse me,
myself.
it's like, oh,
I went with 2 lesbians.
Oh, like, because you're just walking around like, yeah.
All right, I guess we got Dr. Steve on the line.
Absolutely.
Dr. Steve, it's a pleasure to finally talk to you. We're big fans of Weird Medicine, and when you call up the O&A show, we love to talk to you.
Hey, thanks, man.
How's everything in Tennessee?
Sucks. Center of tranquility and consanguinity, my friend.
That's awesome.
Inbreeding.
Now, what part of Tennessee are you located? Are you close to the Memphis or Nashville area?
No, I'm between Nashville and Bristol, where the racetrack is, so somewhere about halfway between the two.
I get you.
Has anybody killed themselves at your racetrack yet?
No, God, no, not that I'm aware of.
Sorry. That happened at a NASCAR race recently.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, okay, no, yeah.
Would you be able to diagnose JR with Asperger's? Because that would really help us out a lot.
We really think he has Asperger's disease.
We do have a giant shopping cart that races every year.
Really?
And the Food City 500, my friend, yes. And they've got this giant motorized shopping cart that tools around the track. It's very humorous.
That's absolutely phenomenal.
Anyway,
that is awesome.
Who gives a shit? Anyway, what are we doing tonight?
Well, we should tell everyone you have a very popular podcast. Isn't it an iTunes Top 100 podcast or something? Or
yeah, I mean, sometimes it depends on the day of the week. When we first started, we were on the what's hot thing all the time, and iTunes is so screwed up because, I guess it's fair to people who are doing a new podcast because to stay in there, you've got to just absolutely be adding new subscribers just constantly.
Yeah,
See, Joe Rogan and Jay Moore and Mark Maron and those guys can still do that. My audience kind of tapered off, 6 months ago. So you start to fall in the ratings. But yeah, we're still in there. We're in the top 20 on Stitcher and
nice.
For health and lifestyle, which I guess is not that big of a deal.
It is a medical show, I guess. So I guess that's an appropriate category.
Yeah, here's the thing. We've done an uncensored medical show on broadcast radio since 2007. So we were the first, and we remain the still only uncensored broadcast radio show on satellite radio on Sirius 206 and XM 105.
That's awesome.
And I know Howard Stern's got his guy, but until he shoves a vodka-laden
tampon.
Oh, did we lose him? Did we lose the doctor? Bad reception in Tennessee. Dr. Steve.
What part of Tennessee is he in?
He was
between Bristol and Nashville?
Yeah, which is eastern Tennessee in the mountains.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where I think they filmed Deliverance out there.
Right now.
Looks like we lost him. All right, well, I'm sure the doctor will call back. But you know how excited I am to talk to Dr. Steve.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even get to ask him any, medical questions.
No, I hope he calls. Because literally, I heard him probably 2-3 years ago, first time on the Opie and Anthony show. Yeah. And I'm like, I subscribe to his podcast. It comes out every Tuesday or so. We'll post on iTunes. Mm-hmm. And you should listen to it sometimes. It's actually a great podcast. It's an hour long, and they cover really odd medical questions. And people call in with weird, I get this growth on the tip of my dick that's purple. And I'm afraid to go to my doctor. What is it? And he'll kind of give you an idea. The first time Dr. Steve was ever on the radio was, at least on the Opie and Anthony show, was back in the FM days. And they had a doctor come in to look at body parts and stuff to guess what disease you have or something like that. And there was one where a guy came in and he had this weird growth. Oh, but you ran back.
Wait, you guys are on the internet, right?
We are. Yes.
Okay, thank God. I thought for a second you hung up on me because you were on broadcast radio and violated some rule.
We're on unregular radio out of Boston, Massachusetts up here. So anything goes, anything says.
Okay.
We were just talking about how the first time I actually heard of you on the ONA show, and you were doing the guest. That was that gig they did where people would come in and they had that weird, if they had some kind of growth or some kind of medical.
Oh, yeah. It was called What the Hell Is That?
Yes, What the Hell Is That? And I was saying I subscribe to your podcast. I listen to it every week, and I find it very, very entertaining. Because it's one of those things where it's hey, I got a growth in the tip of my dick. I don't know what it is. It looks like Bill Cosby, but
yeah. It's enjoyable, and it keeps. See, I used to do primary care. And now I'm practicing my specialty, and the show actually helps keep me up to date on just regular primary care stuff. So it's it helps me, and we've saved actually quite a few lives on that stupid show. We've had a bunch of people call and say they found testicular masses that turned out to be cancer because I always once a year walk everybody through a self-testicular exam.
It's important.
And we've had people who had colon polyps removed because I told my story about getting a colonoscopy done and all that kind of stuff, and and we've saved a lot of guys' sex lives because 95% of people that have low testosterone go undiagnosed in this country. and I'm preaching low testosterone every single show. There's something comes up about testosterone deficiency pretty much every week. And, people are going out and getting their testosterones checked and finding out that they're low. And they get put on testosterone replacement, and they're having sex with their wives or boyfriends or whoever, and their quality of life improves. So I feel pretty happy about that.
Once in a while, when I get an erotic massage, I always include in the fee testicular search for the lumps. So she
really they do that.
Sometimes depends on what girl you get. And back
really,
yeah, oh yeah, I'll be okay. Can you just cup
Why
the
do
balls
we not have this where I live?
Cup the balls and look for a lump.
I'm sure Arty could find it for you.
Yes, I am a deviant.
Where do you guys live?
We're in Boston.
Boston. Oh, my God. That's got to be the greatest place in the world, then.
It is it's funny about Boston. The smut capital of the Northeast is Providence, Rhode Island, which is located a brief 45 minutes south from here. So, up until 2007, I believe, prostitution was legal indoors in the city of Providence as long as it wasn't on the streets. So it was.
You were kidding. Oh, that's so civilized.
Oh, it was. I think so. And it still goes down. Hint to this day, and the strip clubs are nothing but fronts. But it's a very interesting experience when you go down there. But Massachusetts, when it comes to stuff like that, it's kind of prude. So you have to go to other places around New England. But it's easy to find. Trust me.
Okay, not Provincetown.
No. Maybe for some people, but no.
Okay. Providence, Rhode Island. Okay.
Yes,
I didn't know that. I'm definitely all in on that.
Hey, anytime you want to come up to Boston, I'll be more than happy to give you a nice tour of all the smut that this fine establishment has to offer. So we had sent you some questions that we were interested in. I'll have JR kind of ask you and walk you through these things because my English is absolutely
Arty's borderline illiterate is what he's getting at. So Dr. Steve...
Can you prescribe him something for that?
some more vagina, right?
That's what you think is a fucking cure for illiteracy.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Steve. This is JR from the Adult Entertainment Radio Show. Thank you so much for calling in. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so, first question, while the efficacy of water fluoridation actually preventing cavities is something that's come into question over the years, is there though any evidence that could lead people like water fluoridation leading people to be more docile or mentally dull or something like that, or cause any other adverse health effects that you kind of hear the conspiracy crowd harping on?
Well, here's the thing, where that docile thing comes from. Did you? I heard Jesse Ventura, who is big on conspiracy theories.
Well, I remember seeing it in Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, listen, the whole fluoridation thing, because it's a government program, has been suspect from the beginning.
Right.
And but Jesse Ventura was on, I can't remember if it was Howard Stern or Opie and Anthony, and he said that fluoride is the quote-unquote main ingredient in Prozac, and so they're putting Prozac in our water to keep us docile. Now, here's the thing. Prozac indeed has 3 fluorine atoms on it. That's why it's called fluoxetine. But it's not... Prozac isn't a cake that just has ingredients. It's a molecule that has a specific shape, and it interacts with receptors in the brain because of its specific shape. And the fluorine atoms just simply help to give the Prozac molecule its shape. Has absolutely nothing to do with the chemical properties of fluorine or fluoride. So if you just add fluoride to the water, it is not the same as adding Prozac to the water, which is a large complex molecule, whereas fluoride is basically an ionic form of an atom.
Right.
So there are health benefits from fluoride in the water, and basically dentists will tell you it's the greatest thing for dental health in this country that ever happened was adding fluoride to the water. But if you add too much, you can get this stuff called dental fluorosis, which if you've ever seen somebody and the bottom of their teeth, the parts that actually touch the food will turn kind of white. They'll have kind of a whitish cast down there.
Right.
That's dental fluorosis, and that's caused from too much fluoride in their diet or, that they've taken in at an early age in life. And when those teeth are forming before they erupt, they can get too much fluoride in them, and it makes them brittle and real kind of hyper white. Other than that, to my knowledge, and I did some research on this a couple of years ago for our show, there are no known detrimental effects from a normal amount of fluoride in the water, which we're talking about parts per billion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And we all know that dentists are nothing but doctors that failed out of medical school.
Well, I don't know about that. Actually, at Chapel Hill, where I went to school, it was harder to get into dental school than it was to get into medical school.
No kidding.
But they did a study on fluoride recently, and children without caries with dental caries or cavities in kids who had fluoride in their water was up to 64% less than people who didn't have fluoride in their water, that lived with well water. So, and that's 1 part per million. At a level of 1 part per million, about 12% of those people will get dental fluorosis. So they try to keep it way below 1 part per million. So it's very, very dilute.
So we had nothing to worry about then.
I don't think so. I've never seen any evidence that shows that it's a problem.
Yeah.
And I've got a pretty open mind about this stuff. And, for your listeners who are interested in these kinds of questions, if it's a medical question, they should go to pubmed.org, and there is every single article that's ever been published in the medical literature. And you can search this stuff and find this stuff for yourself. Okay. It's a very powerful tool, and it's free, and everybody can use it.
There you go.
Check that out. I have another question for you, Dr. Steve. This is
okay.
JR. So we hear a lot about now in the news people talking about genetically modified organisms, especially in foods. Are there any potential adverse health risks that are at least have been documented yet, or ones that are reasonable to be concerned about?
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. Europe will not accept genetically modified organisms in their borders, so they won't take, at least that's my understanding, is they won't accept seed from us that has been genetically modified. Now, when you talk about genetic modification, when you take a blue flower and a red flower and mix them together and have them mate and come out with a purple flower, you're doing Mendelian genetic modification. That is a form of genetic modification, but what they're talking about here is actually taking genes that are desirable and inserting them using genetic techniques into the genome of an existing organism. And look, I've seen I Am Legend, and I'm a little concerned about it because I'm not convinced that they know what the fuck they're doing. Okay, but so far, from all the research that I've looked at, the benefits outweigh the risks in the sense that you can make plants that need less water, that produce more nutrition with less fertile soil and that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff they're going for.
Right.
But when these things start passing genes that are artificial from one plant to another, you don't know what's going to happen. So I am a little concerned about it. So far, I haven't seen any huge problems with it, and it seems to be doing more good than harm, but I'm definitely keeping a watchful eye on that.
So if I eat food that has GMOs in it, and then I go blow a load, they won't accept my load in the border of France and England?
Yeah. No, that's the thing is that when you eat something, it doesn't incorporate its DNA into your genome, so you can still blow a load anywhere you want.
I love it.
Thank you, Dr. Good to know. Feel free to roam and blow loads and have whatever diet you want, Arty. Dr. Steve says it's just fine. Jesus Christ.
Is it true that KFC is growing chickens with no feet and no beaks?
No, that's a chainmail from the early days of the internet. Go on
that
Snopes
broke
about
my
that.
heart.
Oh yeah.
I was like, Jesus.
No, they were saying.
I wouldn't be surprised if they tried that at some point. I mean, the thing is, it costs billions to come up with one genetic change in an organism, so there'd have to be a really profitable reason to have chickens growing with no beaks.
Well, what if it's like an evil billionaire, though, who has, long fingers?
Right.
Well,
He has this horde of beakless chickens,
from,
not
Captain
pecking
Planet.
people. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that.
Guy got his dick bit by a chicken when he was a kid. He's like, fuck those chickens.
Spend my billions making
I don't know.
beakless chickens.
I just love chickens so much that made me sad.
Yeah, I know. It makes me sad, too.
So, Dr. Steve, JR, again, another question for you. I noticed there's a big rallying cry among like the anti-vaccine community, especially like with childhood vaccines, like in measles, mumps, rubella, and the standard ones like that. That it either puts a child more at risk, or in some cases actually causes autism or autism spectrum-related disorders.
Right.
Now, is there anything at all that supports these claims, or like at least a reasonable argument? Because it seems like kind of a big jump for me.
This has become more of a political thing than anything else, and there are people who are convinced that autism is caused by vaccines. Now, listen, here's the thing, and some of those folks have a reasonable reason why they think that they draw these two things together. If X number of kids were going to be diagnosed with autism on Tuesday. Okay, we've got, 400 million people in this country and a whole crap load of kids, and a lot of them are being diagnosed with autism. So let's say 10,000 kids are going to be diagnosed with autism next Tuesday. Well, of those 10,000 kids, maybe 1,000 of them had a vaccine a month before. And there is no convincing that those parents, at least half of them, that the vaccine didn't cause their kids autism.
So then it's more anecdotal than empirical evidence, right?
Right, but the empirical evidence and there's a new study that just came out where they did a meta-analysis, and they took thousands of patients in the Journal of Pediatrics and looked at whether there's any risk to vaccines with regard to autism, and they found no correlation whatsoever. Now, this new study, I think, is the one that'll finally put the story to rest, at least for people who believe in science.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't believe in science, then, I can't tell you anything different. And the problem is that not vaccinating our kids. Look at Wales. Wales went through this period of anti-measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine hysteria about 20 years ago, and now they're getting all these cases of measles, and some of the kids may die from that, because measles can cause a thing called panencephalitis, and a very small percentage, about 0.3% of kids who get measles will die from it. But it's something that's totally preventable. Jesus. Now, can some kids get an adverse reaction to the vaccine and even die from it? Yes. That can happen sometimes, but the numbers are so small compared to the number that will be severely injured by not getting vaccinated that people feel that the benefits outweigh the risk.
Well, if they would have a reaction... I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
No, it's a tough one. When I've got two small kids, and I had to get on the internet and get on PubMed and look at all the evidence before I had my kids vaccinated, because if you have little kids, just the thought of doing something to them that could possibly harm them is terrifying. And, I came to the conclusion as a parent that the risks of not doing it were far outweighed by the benefits of doing it, so I had my kids vaccinated. And I'm glad we did,
Okay.
So... It's scary. It's terrifying to have kids.
No, it really is. It's because that's the thing that I'm always thinking about.
It's like, I'm never doing it.
When you finally do you vaccinate? And I think all of us in the room probably have been. I don't think any of us have not been.
Sam Ike hasn't been.
You haven't? No.
People don't remember all these diseases. I'm old, and I'm a lot older than you guys. I'm 58, and I remember polio. I had friends of mine in my class that got polio and were paralyzed. We never see this anymore. I had a girl in my kindergarten class that died from measles. We never see this anymore.
Wow.
People have completely forgotten what diphtheria is.
What about rickets?
I've had scarlet fever.
Yeah, now people
I
still
had
get
shingles.
scarlet fever. We don't have a
they don't die
vaccine
from it,
against
though.
it, but we do have treatment for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, isn't it essentially just when you have strep throat that goes
With a rash,
untreated?
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's when you read the Scarlet Letter naked on
Okay.
an MBTA train.
Hey, speaking
I don't
of
think that's what it is.
Don't listen to the kid that can't read about that one.
Dr. Steve, speaking of like old timey diseases, what was an iron lung for?
Oh, well, okay. An iron lung was a device that allowed people to breathe that had lost the ability to breathe before we really had endotracheal intubation, which is the way we do it now is we shove a tube down your throat and we have this ventilator that then breathes for you. The iron lung would make a seal around your torso and your neck, and then it would apply a negative pressure to your chest wall, which would allow the chest to expand and you would breathe.
So it was almost like a bellows.
And they're not completely gone. If you look up Curiass ventilation, it says Curiass ventilation. We'll still use those in some people with chronic respiratory failure, just so that they can. The cool thing about it is it will breathe for them, but they can eat and they can speak. And interact with people without a tube going down their throat. So, every once a few doctors are still using it. I'm one of those that will still use it in certain rare cases of people that don't need to be on the ventilator all the time. But that's what an iron lung was.
It is.
Okay.
Do we have time for like one more?
Do you want me to ask the hooker spit question, or
I need to know.
Okay, Arty is definitely afraid of like HIV, and he wants to know: can you get HIV from oral sex or hooker spit in a hand job? Can that transmit it?
Okay, so if the hooker has HIV and she spits in her hand and gives you a hand job, you're wondering if that's how you can get HIV. Okay, the fluids that you can get HIV from are blood, semen, vaginal fluid, and breast milk. Okay? And then, like, amniotic fluid and stuff, but I doubt that you'll be exposed to that.
Arty's into some kind of weird shit.
You never know.
But you'll notice saliva is not in there, so you can kiss somebody with HIV and you can tongue somebody with HIV, and unless both of you have bleeding gums and you're trading blood, it is unlikely, very unlikely that you'll get HIV. Now, I had a friend in medical school who got stuck with a needle of someone that had AIDS. At that time, we didn't know that it was even a virus.
Were you calling it AIDS?
Later on, we found out that her odds of actually getting HIV from a needle stick was 1 in 250. So you can imagine if it's not in saliva, and the odds of getting HIV from getting stuck with a needle that was stuck in somebody's arm that has HIV is 1 in 250. The odds of you getting HIV from a hooker spit hand job is vanishingly low.
What if you say your finger blasting a hooker and you have like a hangnail or a little cut in your finger?
Yeah, it's possible, but extremely low rate.
Oh, okay, all right.
But it's not impossible. Not impossible. If you have an open wound and she is actively shedding virus through her vaginal fluids, then there is a possibility that you could contract HIV.
So latex glove up, right? At least, just...
Yeah, that's all you got to do is wear a glove, I guess. Literally.
Yeah. Hey, do you know that's what comes in like a lesbian safe sex kit? They give you like a latex
and a dental dam. Nice.
It's so fucking weird.
So I'm going to start getting blowjobs from hookers.
There you go, Arty. I mean, you can still get other things from a hooker blowjob, correct, Dr. Steve? Not AIDS, but say herpes or.
Well, you could get herpes if she's got a big cold sore on her lip. You could get herpes, but most hookers now, in my experience, not. Well, okay.
I want to call them
from
prostitutes.
what people have told me,
I'm going to say that. I want to call them
aren't doing unwrapped blowjobs these days either. So now Boston may be different, but
you never know. When you take an HIV test, it usually says you have to wait within 8 weeks to 12 weeks on a like a clinic test. What's the actual ideal time to wait before you get an accurate read on how much?
Those are good numbers. The thing is that I'm not an expert on HIV. As a matter of fact, we're seeing less and less of it these days, at least in our area. That the syndrome will occur within around 4 days of you being exposed, but the syndrome is so mild that people think that they just had a cold or something.
Okay.
And so it actually does cause symptoms when you're first infected. According to things that I read when I was studying this a long time ago. It can take weeks and weeks for you to develop antibodies to it, which is what they're detecting in the bloodstream. So
okay. All right. Well,
so anyway, and like I said, I'm not an expert on that, and there'll be some people, calling in saying that guy's full of shit. I am full of shit.
Oh, don't worry, nobody else is going to call in.
Okay.
We don't have that many listeners.
It's just been so long since I've dealt with how they're diagnosing HIV now that they may have some absolutely new thing. There is this thing called polymerase chain reaction where they can detect DNA of viruses. They'll do that with like hepatitis C, and they can take a little bit of DNA and amplify it so that it can be detectable, and they may be doing that with HIV now. Hell, I don't know.
There you go. Well, Dr. Steve,
not something I know about.
We just want to thank you very much for calling in. It was a pleasure talking to you. Do you want to plug Weird Medicine real quick one more time?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Weird Medicine on Sirius XM, 9 p.m. on Saturday nights and 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings on XM 105 or Sirius 206, or you can hear all of our backlog of podcasts on riotcast.com.
Awesome. And Dr. Steve, thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Thank
hopefully
you.
We'll get to talk to you soon. We'll give you...
yeah, really enjoyed it. Please send me a link so I can plug your shit, too.
Sounds good. Yeah. Hey, thank you very much. Everyone,
okay, hey, thanks.
And we're going to go to a quick break right now, and then we have some more stuff after these... breaking. It's the Adult Entertainment Radio Show here on Unregular Radio.
Boston's best online radio.
All right, it's the Adult Entertainment Radio Show. We're back for the last hour of this wonderful comedic entertainment program. Right now we have another guest on the phone. J.O., would you like to introduce something for us?
Yes, call in from Craig Landgren from ballparkchasers.com, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, no problem.
And now, the reason we wanted you on is because I'm actually on the goal to hit all 30 Major League ballparks before I'm 30. Right now, actually, I have 30 done because I've done 3 of the stadiums twice, old and new, the Mets, the Yankees, and the Marlins. And this summer, we'll be completing this task, seeing San Francisco, Oakland, and Seattle, and having 33 stadiums done before I'm 30. And
be proud of him, Craig, is what he's getting at.
This is something you would like, I guess, right? And I came across your site when I was actually a finalist for the MLB Fan Cave this past January. And yeah, and unfortunately I didn't win. I lost. I was a Red Sox fan, and I lost to a guy from New York, so you can understand how that must feel.
Yeah, that's tough.
But tell us a little about your ballpark blog that you're running over there.
Yeah, so we started about 5 years ago now. It kind of really started on the idea of, those that have this passion around going to the ballpark, seeing different ballparks when traveling, and especially those that want to see all 30 ballparks in their lifetime. So it's always been a life goal of myself to see all the parks, and I just kept meeting other friends of friends that also shared the same life goals. I figured, there's got to be some kind of community around this. And that was during the time of the heyday of internet social networks, and I thought, what a perfect time to create something around this. So I started up, like I said, about 5 years ago, and just kind of the premise of a traditional social network where you can join for free, you can upload your profile picture, you can add your friends, and then you can blog, post forums. And then over the years, we've kind of tweaked it up and added new features to kind of separate us from the pack. So, for example, we've got this ballpark widget which you can almost display the parks that you've seen. It's a little interactive map widget that we have where each time you go to the park, you can put a little push pin in the Google Maps and then display it on your profile page. So it's just kind of a nice tool to keep track and display, kind of brag your progress to see all 30. And then we're about 1,500 members right now. Slowly but surely we're growing, just trying to get the word out by word of mouth, and it's exciting. This year we're kind of moving forward with a new feature. It's a chaser meetup tool where you can actually post a game that you're going to go to and to see if there's other chasers that are also going to that game. What we've found is it's really turning into a community. There's tons of friends that are forming with this site. There's people that are being inspired to see all 30 in one season. We had a vet come back from Afghanistan, and he went to see all 30 ballparks in the summer, and he's writing a book about it, and he found us when he was over in Afghanistan, and that's been really cool. So just a lot of stories are coming about because of the communities. That's exciting.
Yeah, well, I started back in 2004, and it was actually a complete. It was almost an accident, for this matter. I was a Red Sox fan, but I always liked the Mets too. And I was dating a girl from Connecticut, and we went to Shea Stadium. And that summer, I went to go visit some relatives in Baltimore. The next thing you know, I was seeing the Sox play at Camden, and I decided, you know what? Let's see all the ballparks, and it'd give me a good chance to explore this country and see different major cities. And you would have to agree that when you go to a different park in a different city, it's a whole different life. Everything's different. It's not like the same as, you go to Boston, you have a certain
It's like you're
routine.
in a different city or something.
Yeah, it's like you're in a different city or something, It's like, and I usually do these by myself, too. I'm like a sociopath, so I'll travel this country by myself for like 7 days, 8 days straight. And go, see 5 or 6 cities and maybe like 4 or 5 games in one little trip.
3 or 4 swingers clubs.
Yeah. Well, of course, you get the nightlife. You're mixing the smut with the baseball. But, I'm like any professional athlete would, right?
Yeah. That's what's so great about baseball and ballparks. It's different than all the other sports. I mean, each ballpark you go into is completely different than the other. Whereas, a hockey arena or basketball arena, it's just the same.
It's very generic.
It's like they do the same sport in the same building or something.
Yeah. It's fun to see, like you said, see the country, and we've got a cool tool on the site. They're called Chaser Guides. So when you join the site, you can view each Chaser Guide for each ballpark. So when you travel, you know which of the hotels to stay at that are good, buy your tickets, what to do around the city besides just the game. Where to eat, before and after game. What are the cool bars to go to, or the dive restaurants that you check out. So that's been growing over the years as we build our community too.
What I've been doing is in the years past, I'd rent a car, I'd fly to a city, and then I'd drive accordingly to there, and have one as my home base. And what we did was we had these things we got from online, these signs I would stick on the back of the car. And I'd be like, hey, I run a website also called where'sarty.com, and I would set up a tracking device on my phone, and on the website there'd be a map telling me where I am in any second, and then I'd do like a live stream broadcast from the car, video-wise and stuff. And, then when I get to the games, I would actually blog about the stadiums right at the games, and, because you know as well as I do, you go to a stadium and there's so much at once, and it's hard to keep track of all the stuff that you see and all the stuff that you're interested in. So I said, fuck it, I'm just going to blog it while I'm at the game and then post it onto my blog account. And, and it's amazing the amount of people that share it and are interested with it and all that good stuff. I don't know, it's one of those things where, like you said, they're very unique. And the ballparks itself all have little, niches to them, which people who just visiting for the one time only wouldn't know unless someone actually points them out, and that's something to go look at.
Yep. Yeah, and it really seemed like it started with Camden Yard. I think it's been almost 20 years now, where this park really transformed the ballpark. It kind of got out of the cookie cutter, concrete, ballparks. Now it's really turned into the retro look. And then it's like with each new ballpark that comes out, everyone's trying to up each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in each one, they're adding some new crazy feature, or some great ballpark food, or just something to outdo the next. So it's always fun.
Now, how many ballparks have you been to so far? Have you completed the?
I've seen 14 active. I'm one of those chasers that I'm fine with doing it over a lifetime.
Yep.
A lot of our members will see it in a season. We've had many that done in 30 days. There's this guy that has a world record, Chuck Booth. He's seen it in 20. He went to all 30 parks in 23 days. He owns the world record on that. So,
and does he hold the record for most cocaine snorted too?
I'm sorry?
I made a joke about him using stimulants to do all of that. It was a narcotics joke.
That was Uncle Paul.
Craig, can I ask you actually something about like your preferences with like stadiums? Because I've seen a bit of a gamut with like with the baseball stadiums. Like some are all kind of like bare bones, whereas like Chase Field in Phoenix has like 2 restaurants inside of it. really nice bar areas, very, very nice luxury boxes. They put in a whole lot of various food vendors of not just like the stadium food, but like local businesses and with carts in there and stuff. What do you prefer though? Like, what's the ballpark experience to you that you like? Do you like the one that's got all like the new kind of modern amenities to it, like some kind of big shit kicker one they would put up in Texas, or like something maybe like more like Fenway that's almost more classic and kind of like stripped down compared to something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I am more of the traditionalist, so I mean, even though I've already been to Fenway and I've been to Wrigley, if you tell me like I could go to one ballpark right now, I would probably go back to Fenway or back to Wrigley. It's just got so much character and history, and it's so true, it's so original that and it's always the fear of like, well, one day it's got to go away, so I got to get back there again. So I'm not so much into the frills. It is fun to see what people come up with, but for example, like Marlins Park that came out last year.
The nightclub in center field.
It's like no other with that sculpture of the outfield home run sculpture they have is so hideous, and I haven't met anyone yet that likes that feature, so that it's just kind of obnoxious. But to answer your question, I'm more into the traditional aspect of it, the history. But I do love food. I'm a big food connoisseur, and I love good ballpark fare, and something that's different. You can get a hot dog anywhere, and even though they're great, I still want to taste something totally different that I can't get anywhere else in the country. So that's the first thing I'll do is when I see a new park is go get the food inside the stadium, like the number one thing to eat inside the ballpark. With that being said, too, I want to see also the local restaurants around town, too. So I try to turn it into almost a weekend. Where I'll see maybe one ballpark over the weekend, but I'll spend 2 to 3 days in the city to see the tourist attractions if I've never been in the city, and check out all the different restaurants and bars.
You gotta see what kind of talent those ladies have in different cities too. Because I gotta tell you, those Kansas City girls are no joke. They're nice to look at, but hey, the girls in Detroit, not so much. Not so much.
Yeah. Do you have
Kansas City? I haven't been there in a long time, but. That kind of surprised me, but I'll take your word for it. Kansas City. Huh?
You go to the Power and Light District on a Saturday night in Kansas City, and the ladies flock like the salmon of Capistrano.
Swallows of Capistrano. You just said salmon, you fucking moron. The salmon of Capistrano, they flock upstream.
They do. Like my semen. Sam, you have a question?
I have a question. Do you have for me, when I go to Fenway, I'll sit at any seat, but I live here. But when I go and travel and I go out of state and I go to another ballpark, I have to sit behind third base. When you're not at your home stadium, do you have a specific seat? Because I have to sit behind third base. Any ballpark that I'm not
checking out third baseman's ass. Is that why?
Yeah. No, I like to.
No, the running coach. Come on, Bobby.
I like to be on the side of the away team because I don't know when I'll ever see the away team again. Okay. So I want to be able to see that. And also, because I don't know, third base. I like that angle too.
That's my favorite base.
And he loves eating pussy.
Third base eating pussy.
I think so.
I would say yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, like a blowjob or like something.
Really?
Yeah. So to answer my question, do you have a preferred seat?
Sex, I guess, right?
Yes. To answer your question, I actually prefer behind home plate, upper level. So usually the second deck is like the club or luxury boxes.
You kind of want to get a foul ball, don't you?
Yeah, but I also just love the view because you can see literally the entire ballpark when you're literally right behind home plate. So it's a cheap ticket, and if I can get row one upper deck, then you got no one in front of you. You can put your legs up, and you just got a beautiful view of the entire ballpark. But if I'm on an unlimited budget, obviously I'm going to go as close as I can. If I'm first level and a couple rows up, first or third base side is fine with me. If you're right behind the net, first level, then it's kind of distracting when you just seeing the net. No chance about walls. So I usually like a first or third base side, lower level. Otherwise, cheap ticket would be top deck behind home plate.
I like what you're saying about home plate. I have a signature picture. Every park I go to, the picture I take of the stadium usually is from the first row upper deck. And so you can get the entire field in on the picture.
Yep.
And I have a little collection in which I take the picture and I take the ticket stub and I put that in the frame and then I hang it on the wall with a little shelf I built for the shot glass that I get at each stadium. And I was wondering, do you have anything you take from these stadiums other than just the ticket stub or the picture stuff? Is there a particular souvenir or something that you definitely need to have from that stadium? Otherwise, you won't complete your collection.
Yeah, that's a hot topic. A lot of chasers talk about that on our website. And myself, I am a big collector, but it's one of those things where I've seen parks like over the last 10 years that I'll start to collect something and then I won't find it at the next ballpark, and it's like, oh, start over. So my biggest thing is to get a true ticket stub, which sucks now. It's like it's all transforming into paperless or internet tickets. You just print it out off the printer, and it's so annoying. I want the true season ticket.
What I do,
they don't even tear them anymore.
If you stand in line long enough, they'll transfer it for you. I did that last year in Baltimore.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They will transfer it for you because of I don't know, like a fucking rain out or something.
Okay.
I don't know why, but they can do that. Or at least some ballparks.
What I would do is I had Photoshop. The first time I got a paper ticket was Stadium 27 from me. It was in Washington, D.C. And I printed out a ticket because I had to get it from StubHub. And what I did was I brought it into Photoshop and I actually scaled it down to be the relative size of a proper ticket, so I could print it out on a piece of cardboard, so it actually had the same kind of consistency of a paper. But I know what you're saying.
Those fucking nerd.
Those electronic tickets suck. And with the souvenirs, I went to, I got to my 30th ballpark, getting a shot glass in every park. Then I go to Dodger Stadium out in L.A., and it was right in the middle of the whole crisis where they were selling the team, and the team was bankrupt, and they didn't have any money and all that stuff. And I went to the gift shop, and it looked like a Bradley's during a clearance bankruptcy sale, and there was nothing left in there. And I go, hey, you guys have any shot glasses anywhere in the stadium? I've been to 3 shops so far, and you guys look like you're going out of business. And they're like, no, we don't have anything. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, you realize I've been to 30 ballparks. So what I did was I bought a little baseball that had the Dodgers symbol on it, and then I eventually went online and bought a shot glass from a third market party.
Oh, so you have an illegitimate collection.
Yeah. But I still got the baseball that I put next to it. So I'm like, I bought this, but this is what I needed. I'm
authenticated.
Yeah, I'm a dork. I really am. I'm a sick individual. And then on the pitches, I get a label maker with the team they played, the date, and the final score.
I just love that you own a label maker.
For a guy who
he does it to label all his spreadsheets.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
For a guy who's into hooker spit hand jobs, he pays attention to a lot of details.
I guess so. Yeah,
it's true. I do.
That's why he's got strangers.
You put a label on your dick for the hooker.
I do.
With arrows pointing
hand
up and
goes
down.
Here.
Yeah. That's awesome. But you want to plug your website first one more time, because I know there's a lot of. Unless Sam, you have another question for him? Or?
Yeah, actually, I got one more. All right. So, do you plan? Does the opposing team, does that matter to you when you pick the stadium that you're going to go to? Do you base who they're playing against on which game you're going to go to or which week you're going to go to or anything like that?
I do. It's nothing more frustrating than to find a game you want to go to and realize they're playing the Mariners. The Mariners, I live in Seattle, and I can go to them any day, and they suck. Oh, okay. So it's double whammy, and it just seems sometimes that will happen. The Mariners.
Well,
come on.
I mean, it is tough with the Mariners because besides the bartender and King Felix, can you name a significant Mariner player?
Yeah, they're definitely rebuilding as they've said for the last 10 years. But yeah,
is it rebuilding when Kyle Seager's maybe your best hitter?
It's funny. I spent years trying to follow the Sox and the away teams, and the first 10 stadiums I did, I seen the Red Sox play away. And then it happened to be over the last 20 stadiums I've seen, I've been becoming a really, really big Pittsburgh Pirate fan inadvertently because I've been seeing the Pirates play an awful lot, and I really don't know anything about them. And they just happen to be the away team when I'm at these stadiums. I'm like, and like I'll catch them on interleague games too. I'll be like, oh, the Pirates? They're playing the Angels. How the hell did this happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's one of those interesting things.
Yeah, it's like me. The other team I usually get caught with is the Astros. It's like, seriously, out of 29 other teams I could be seeing, it's the Astros. It's so frustrating.
Well, I mean, if you're lucky, you'll see Jose Altuve hit, and then you'll see 3 other guys not get him home.
Well, the good thing about the Astros is it's almost like seeing a farm team for the New York Yankees. I mean, eventually those players are going to be playing for the Yankees, at least the good ones, at some point. You know?
Oh, I thoroughly believe that within 5 years, Jose Altuve will be playing at either for the Angels, the Red Sox, the Rangers, or the Yankees.
So that's what happens.
So the Yankees are farming domestically now. They're at the Dominican Republic.
They've been doing it for years. The Pittsburgh Pirates have been a huge, basically a AAA farm
feeder team.
Oh yeah, for most of the big market teams in baseball, because Pittsburgh doesn't want to pay these guys when their contract's up, and they're really, really good. And guess who has a big checkbook? Old Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
But
the reggaeton guy.
Exactly who he is.
Opa Lopa.
Oh, I thought you meant. Is Steinbrenner even a part with the Yankees anymore, or is he dead?
He's dead.
Okay.
His son owns it now.
Just ask if Steinbrenner.
Dude, my reference to like most of the Yankees is reruns of Seinfeld.
I was just
like,
gonna say.
I don't know sports very well. I'm kind of awful at it.
I'm getting the sense.
Yeah.
Craig, have you ever?
Is that Babe Ruth guy still playing?
Have you ever? Have you ever met a Minnesota Twins fan before? Because we got one here in the studio of us right now. I've never met one.
There's a couple on our website, but definitely no one local out here in Seattle. We're so far away from civilization, it seems like, out here.
Where is out here? Where are you at? Seattle, okay. Hey, you should hook up with Arty when he's out in Seattle, and you guys can go get some hook or spit hand jobs together after the game.
There you go. Yeah, I'll be out there for actually, that'll be my very last stadium to complete the whole entire tour. Will be in September.
You should go to a weed store while you're out there too, because you don't because I heard it's about December is when they expect to open those, like the non-prescription weed shops out there.
I'll make sure I mute on my ass for you. All right. So, Greg. So, one more plug before we go. So the website again. You want to give us the URL and give us
certainly. It's ballparkchasers.com. And sign up free, totally free, and we'll take care of you. We'll help you plan your next ballpark trip, help you track your stadium progress, and it's a great place to just create your own little scrapbook, post your photos, and invite your friends, and join our community.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for calling. I know we had a little bit of a rescheduling problem due to these circumstances that happened in Boston a couple weeks ago, but we appreciate you for making some time for us, and it was nice talking to you.
It was great, guys. Had a lot of fun. Thanks for the invite.
All right. It's Craig Landgren from Ballpark Chasers. So that includes our phone guest tonight. Yeah, I know you have some riveting. You get some of my favorite stuff tonight.
For Wait What?
For Wait What?
Wait What?
Wait What?
I actually, and you know what? There's a few other things like celebrity stuff, but I have 3 Florida crime news stories today.
Let's just go all Florida crime news.
I think so.
You sure? Because I wrote great headlines for him too, but we can pick
You
from
sound
one.
excited.
I am excited. There's a So we have, I was going to jack it until I saw this badass remote control helicopter news.
Okay.
We have apparently God is very short-sighted when it comes to planning news. And this little piggy went to register as a sex offender news. These are all Florida crime stories.
Awesome.
So which one would you like?
So much to choose from.
Wait, what was the second one?
Apparently God is very short-sighted when it comes to planning.
I'm intrigued by that one.
Yeah. No, Sam and Sam, if you're not familiar, we do a Wait What segment of Jay. He's the news guy, and we specialize in Florida crime news
because it's fantastic.
It's awesome. The best stuff in the world happened in Florida.
There's never not Florida crime news.
And now we got 3. So yes, let's do the Jesus is a bad planner.
God.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, so this is from the News Journal, newsjournalonline.com. Daytona Beach. A West Palm Beach woman was taken into protective custody for a mental health evaluation after police say she set fire to her car on Wednesday. Patrol unit responded to BP gas station at 971 West International Street.
She did it at a gas station?
She did it, yeah.
That
Okay.
is
You know what? I'll stop reading.
ballsy.
I'll stop reading the story. Just she did it at a gas station. She doused her car, which was a Scion, which I can understand wanting to burn one of those. But she doused it in gas. Went in, fought like with the cashier over like a Bic lighter. Like they were like actually like wrestling over it. She got one away from him. Ran out.
because they just saw her douse her car with gasoline.
exactly.
And she reeked of gasoline. Like,
Yeah.
They're like, I know she paid, but we're going to shut the pump off now.
You shouldn't be handling a lighter right now, ma'am.
But she does that and sets the car on fire and then starts screaming, "My babies are in the car." She left her 2 dogs in the car. What? After she did this, no. But then when cops and everything arrived, and paramedics, she said that she was God. So,
okay. That
God
makes-
has a plan. She works in mysterious ways. So, who are we to question that?
And you know how expensive it is when those ANSEL systems go off, those anti-fire protection systems at gas station? It costs tens of thousands of dollars to get that thing set back up again once that goes off.
It doesn't say in the article if that went off, but they said the total damages to the gas station was just a burnt or a melted hose, but that was it. Like, they didn't have any damage to the pumps or anything. So I think they got it out pretty quickly. I don't think that it was like...
Because a chick doesn't know what she's doing.
Well, I think also that like she was dousing the car like at the pump, so I think somebody called like 911 probably right away.
And metal doesn't burn too well. It more of actually just heats up. You know,
it's a Scion, so it's mostly plastic. Yeah, so it just melts.
It's like when you're a kid and you set a Matchbox car on fire because you just want to destroy shit.
Well, I mean, guys, I went to Subway the other day and they fucked up my sandwich, so I set my bicycle on fire. I mean, I get it. Like,
but outside the restaurant,
I understand.
Set my dick on fire.
Yeah.
The hooker didn't blow me right, so set my dick on fire.
Blow me right.
I want to.
Shit.
I want to hear the piggy.
The piggy. Okay.
I
all right.
hear that one.
What's the headline again?
It's this little piggy's going to have to register as a sex offender news. Polk man arrested after asking to touch girl's feet. A 23-year-old man is under arrest.
Obviously, if he's from Polk County.
Oh, of course.
That's where the worst people in Florida come from.
I thought it was Brevard County. That's where they arrested 2 Live Crew and
Is that really?
and Pee Wee.
That's where they got.
That's right.
Or is that Broward County?
That's Broward, yeah, where Sarasota is, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, a 23-year-old man is under arrest after asking a girl if he could touch her feet, according to Polk County Sheriff's Office. Detectives say he might have approached hundreds of females in the Dundee and Lake Hamilton areas. Reginald Cruz of Dundee was arrested Wednesday and charged with lewd, lascivious conduct on a person under 18.
Oh, because he was wearing the age girls that he was going to touch their feet.
Yeah, he was.
I was trying to understand what the crime was.
It was a 10-year-old girl.
I didn't think he just learned the crime. You didn't get to that part.
Sorry, all right.
So you can't just ask to touch people's feet.
Yeah.
He should have been a podiatrist.
But he said,
God damn it, I'm going to be a politician to make sure it's legal to ask anybody if you want to touch their feet.
He could at least get like a cosmetology license and just specialize in pedicures.
yeah, 10-year-old little
For
girls that he was
children.
asking.
Children's pedicures.
Yeah,
And not just, but he wasn't just asking to
touch.
touch them. He was asking like if he could like suck them and stuff too. And it was a ruse of him being a Boy Scout. Like I don't know.
I'm a Boy Scout.
It's
You
like
suck your feet.
I guess it was a foot fetish merit badge or something. I don't like. I've been out of the program.
Am I the only one
since
turned
04.
on by this?
Yeah. What?
Am I the only one turned on by this?
You want to touch a 10-year-old girl's foot?
No, but
put your mouth on it, make like a turkey noise.
No,
right on the bottom.
I like the balls that he has, just asking people to suck their toes. Like,
Can I touch your daughter's feet?
yeah, like, well, did anyone say yeah?
I no, I'm pretty sure they didn't. They just
To
he
be
got, but he
fair,
got.
if you have a foot fetish, little girls probably have better feet than women.
That's true.
I've seen. Yeah,
I mean, they have
Brianna-
cute little adorable feet.
Brianna Clausen, pedophile, foot fetish apologist.
she's sympathizer.
He's literally a pedophile.
Now, here's the thing that I
See what I did
Nice.
I saw that.
That's great.
I always wonder this myself, like with like a foot fetish, right? Like, how do you go about that? Like, how do you go about, like, if you're in a relationship, right? Like, how do you go about bring that conversation up? Or you just like you're fucking and then you just put her foot in your mouth?
Yeah, I think it's the same conversation you bring up anal.
The conversation starts with like, I can't go by parks anymore because I was asking 10-year-old girls to touch their feet.
No, I'm not asking about this guy.
That guy.
I'm just asking for a foot fetish people in general.
I mean, if somebody was like, "Hey, can I like rub your feet?" I'd be like, "Absolutely." I work in a restaurant, so I would love a foot rub.
What if they're like, "Hey, I want to like jerk off while I rub your feet because I'm really into touching your feet."
I've done that.
You know, as long as it didn't affect the quality of my foot massage, I'd be okay with it.
I asked the girl to give me a foot job once. She laid her on her back, put her feet up, and I stood above her like she was on a couch, and I just fucked her foot.
Dutch rudder her feet.
Nice.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was awesome. And she had these calluses on her heel, so it actually felt good. It was almost like I was. What's that mean?
Arty.
What's that mean when you do your skin and you rub the
like a pumice stone on your dick?
Yeah, like a dead skin, exfoliated.
You exfoliated your shaft.
I did.
That does not seem relaxing at all. That seems
Honestly, I feel like dicks are the one part of bodies that should not be exfoliated.
And you like jack it with a cheese grater? What the hell's wrong with you?
I wouldn't advise you get a stripper spit hand job after that. You might have cuts on your penis.
What if you got a fungus from her? What if she had
athlete's
a foot
dick?
fungus? If you got athlete's dick. If your dick hole got athlete's
dick. It would be like Kobe Bryant.
You'd have a very athletic penis.
That comes with a rape charge.
I do think that like I haven't had it happen, but I think a foot job would probably be more pleasant than a hand job.
Either or.
There's less painful, like
can't get HIV.
Less of a forceful tug and like grip.
Feet. Like if she's going full blown with it, she's using both her feet, and I feel like that
great like ab exercise.
It is for her.
It probably does work your lower abs really well.
All right, I'm putting it out there.
I want to help some ladies tone their abdominal muscles.
Yeah, if you want to fucking lose weight and make me come, contact me. Call into this fucking show right now. Give me a foot job. Make this worth it. Make being here worth it.
The phones are lighting up.
The phones are just ablazing now.
Some girls are listening right now in Oklahoma going, that's not a bad idea.
I've never been to Boston.
I could really use my abs tone, but I really just want to make people come at the same time. So
the boys in here, can you explain it to me though? Like, why do you want to like fuck other shit besides the vagina? Like the vagina's there. Like, what makes you pass the pussy and go like, I really just want to fuck your feet? What happens?
It does it for me like the bottom of 2 feet rubbing
I
my
don't
dick.
have the foot fetish, but I understand. It's just conquering shit. Like
it is.
It's a masculine thing. We feel like we're fucking kings.
I came here.
I was in high school.
It's like marking your territory.
No, I believe Caesar actually said it. Vini, veni, vini. I came. I saw. I came.
Yeah. I was in high school, and I had a girlfriend, and we had sex on a regular basis, and I still took my pillow. Folded in half, put lotion in half, and fucked my own pillow.
What kind of lotion?
I fucked my pillow.
I've ever heard.
How
many pillows did you go through?
Because I could, because I'm a man, and I wanted to conquer my goddamn pillow.
I like the fact that you.
What kind of lotion? Like Jergens or cocoa butter or like?
Yeah, no, but the lotion part. As I was putting that on, I went. God, I'm taking this way too far.
No, but I can't stop. I already lotioned up the pillow.
Did you go
no, you don't. This is what I did. I used to get the pillow, and I used to put a plastic bag over the pillow, then put a couple pillowcases over the plastic bag, so you had that vapor barrier, so you didn't get the feathers and the pillow with cum and lotion on it. And I would do the same thing, and you'd bang a pillow, and then all you gotta do is throw your pillowcase in the wash, and then you take off the plastic bag and put a new one on.
At least there's something inside of you, Sam, that like tells you you've taken it too far and you're doing something wrong. Like, Arty has absolutely zero idea of taking it too far.
All I know is this: if there's somebody riding around stage like fucking pillows and glory holes and baseball parts, it's already like cutting off strippers' hands. It's this motherfucker over here.
It puts the lotion on the pillowcase again.
What is it odd that every escort I ever had, I asked if I can have a clip of their hair?
I really That's not true.
I put it in a film canister and I label it with my label maker.
That's why he bought the label maker.
Can I ask, like, her specific?
Behind his like baseball shrine, it's just like stripper toenails.
Oh, he's got a secret like dungeon, like dark room his girlfriend knows nothing about. That's just filled with like it's got his
whole ballpark thing is a ruse. Where you travel around the country collecting like prostitute body parts.
He literally has binders full of women because of his spreadsheets he makes.
One time I hooked up with a girl that was like way too hot, like way out of my league, and I was like,
she drunk?
Yeah. And I was like, I gotta really make this worth it. So I stole her copy of Ashton Kutcher's Just Married.
He's banging girls in the
still. Fuck her for thinking she's better than me. She never did anything wrong.
She was really hot and let me put my penis inside of her when she was drunk. But I'm gonna take her shit.
Yeah.
You know what would be like,
of a movie she probably didn't care that much about to begin with.
But it didn't matter to me. I was
but
like,
how funny would it be if that just like? How funny would it be if that like wrecked her? Like,
yeah.
Brittany Murphy. Was this before or after Brittany Murphy died? Like,
this was
because maybe she had some weird connection with her.
That's what I was saying. Like maybe like her dead father. That was their favorite movie that they watched. Fuck this girl. You're a horrible person, Sam.
She's like, I already had sex with a guy who's way below me.
I already fucked a loser.
And then he steals my copy of Just Married? What kind of a person is he?
Sick fuck. And then he cut a piece of my hair off.
Do that to me. He asked me if I would give him a foot job. What is that?
To answer the question, Brittany Murphy was still alive.
Okay.
Good.
I don't know if that makes it better. I still stole it.
Nothing will make that better.
I'll steal anything that's worth like less than $10.
I want to start doing that. No, we go start stealing stuff from girls.
Yeah, it's fun.
You have stolen things.
You know, you are aware
of their dignities.
Their pride.
You are aware, like, taking trophies is like, I think, like, the FBI talks about that and, like, the serial killer profile.
That's true. They, like, take something with them.
I mean, the only thing I steal from women is their hearts. Oh, that's never
and their self-respect.
So just their dignity.
We'll probably get time for one more story. So we have a third Florida crowd news, right?
Yeah, we do. So that was okay. I was gonna jack off, but then I saw this awesome remote control helicopter news. St. Augustine, Florida, a sheriff's deputies say a burglary suspect admitted to having a really good time while in a couple's home. Authorities charged Jason Vickery, 23, on burglary and larceny charges. Essentially, what he did was he broke into these people's house and he didn't steal anything, but I think these burglary and larceny charges are a little trumped up in that he found some batteries in the house and started playing with a remote control helicopter he found, and then later went upstairs and jacked it in one of the bathrooms. But then, like, the cops, like, I guess somebody noticed that he was in the house because the cops were outside before he had a chance to leave.
Really, that's just like a perverted B&E.
Yeah, exactly. But they're saying that because he used the batteries, they're charged. And it's Florida. The legal system's draconian at best. I'm sure, like, if you can throw an extra charge at him, like, but they also got him on, like, possession of, like, pot and
Whoa.
and paraphernalia.
I would kind of
like,
assume that anybody who went to break into somebody's house and then got distracted by a remote control helicopter and then went upstairs and jerked off was probably high. Yeah.
I guess nobody's face got bitten off. So
have you guys ever did that? Have you ever broken into a girl's house and jerked off on her pillow?
Something tells me you have.
No.
Guy I know.
I actually know.
Did you bring your own your own vapor lock system to jerk on her pillow that you described so deftly? Like,
yeah, well, we had a little conversation before the show about how I bring my own utensils to restaurants sometimes.
That was actually during the show, but yeah,
was it during the show?
Yeah,
I was here.
And then you said
before we started though.
No, we were all here. Yeah.
Really?
You said so you don't bring spoons because you can just melt it.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, I'm just losing my mind. I didn't remember that.
Okay, so I went to high school with a girl. We're still, like, sort of friends. Her boyfriend She broke up with him. He lost his shit. He totaled her parents' car because they were like on vacation, trashed her house, and then jerked off on her parents' bed.
No,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then
he's kick ass.
I'm pretty sure he went to jail after.
Yeah, I was assuming it was part of
He's
the
a fucking
sentence.
rock star.
But he totally jerked off
That's rock star
on her
shit.
parents' bed.
That's cute.
After totaling their car.
What?
I don't.
Do you think he jerked
okay,
off
guys,
on the
can
car
I ask
too?
another question?
Sure.
Another question. How, as men, like, I don't get, like, every time I hear these, like, random jerk-off stories, I'm like, well, what? Like, how is he like, fuck this car, And he's like, yeah! Like, how did he get there?
He
To
had
just,
so
like,
much adrenaline from
or like, how are you just,
crashing
like,
the car
playing
and
with
then
the
he was like, I
helicopter,
just
and then you're like,
It's a pure
everyone knows.
masculinity thing. Like, we
They just
just
need to come on stuff.
Yeah, we just want to conquer shit. Like, we don't care whose bed it is. We're fucking jerking off in it, because we need to fucking tell people who's boss. That's the only way we know how.
It's like spraying your scent on stuff, you know? It's like, we're going to leave it.
I was thinking because it's like I associate masturbation with being sexually aroused, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, how do you go from these extremes of emotion? Like, how do you go from like fuck your car, bitch?
Because it's a
and then you're like,
testosterone thing.
No
man.
woman would ever go be
Yes.
like, fuck that, I just crashed your car, go upstairs and be like, now I'm
let
gonna
me
play
rub
with
it up. 'Cause
myself.
You know how much it
Well,
takes
not
for a
every
woman
woman-
to like put herself in the mood to touch herself? Like, I gotta think about shit.
Guys are
like,
always in the mood, though.
Are you fucking kidding me? If fucking JR wasn't looking at me, I'd jerk off right now.
But I want to watch. Because
Notice how he only said JR and there are two other men in the room.
but I would help.
JR, you're the ugly duck.
No, but he knows how. But he knows how much I want. No, you know how much I want to
Got a
watch
great
is the
face
thing.
for
And I, and the thing is though, I shouldn't watch because if you start jerking off, I'm going to start jerking off. It's going to be this whole chain reaction
And then he
thing.
and Sam are gonna get the fuck out of here.
I'm definitely moving.
It's going to be like that time I walked in that swingers club.
But we can't break eye contact the whole time.
The
No,
chicks
that's
never
awkward.
came, man.
Yeah.
They never showed up.
Well, all right. Well, you know what? Any show we have, Florida Crime News, is a good show. So I think that was successful right there.
I
Just
think
having those
so.
three stories. Sam J, is there anything you're doing? Any plugs or anything? I know we were having all this talk before the show and stuff. Yeah.
I guess I'll just plug my website. I am samj.com.
All right.
Got a new episode of Jokes and Dreams out, which is a little mini docuseries I'm doing.
Very philosophical this episode, episode 2 of Jokes and Dreams. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, James.
I'm not saying that to be a dick. I really like you. It was very insightful and like you seem very pensive. Like while you were discussing like when you had your talking head segments during.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'm sorry. I can't believe I turned a compliment into a shitty thing.
You just made her feel better about herself.
I know. I have Asperger's.
It's okay.
And you're saying you're going to be in Cleveland?
Yeah, I'll be in Cleveland on Fridays. I guess if there's any Cleveland listeners, I have no idea where. So,
Nice.
I don't know. Just look for the black lesbian girl telling jokes somewhere.
Look for the only black lesbian in Cleveland.
Because I just like to think of
LeBron left town. She's the only one. She's the only black lesbian in town now.
Just think of someone just
Black lesbian comics to always like just kill it like every time, like at tavern. Whenever there's
sure
a black
there's-
lesbian there, she always just like wrecks it for everybody else.
How many black lesbians go to tavern? I'm
Not many. So whenever one
So
shows
just
up,
you.
I feel like you just saw me.
No,
I'm like, I don't even know.
Sam's sitting there going, introduce me to her.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm like, where? This doesn't happen to me.
I don't know. There's been more than just you though. There's definitely somebody else.
You mean
I will
she
find
hasn't
you.
cornered the black lesbian market in Boston
Boston?
comics? Yeah. She hasn't
I need to know about this. I
You
will
have to ask
find you.
Phoebe or something.
It's awesome.
I just think
Because if there's another one, we'll call up the dudes in Roxbury and take her out.
I just feel like Brianna
We don't
saw
need-
me and doesn't remember. I really do. I'm really putting it all on that.
That's Brianna, aren't you someone else?
I'm willing to really bet a large amount of money that you just saw me and
She's like,
But I've seen you at tavern. Like I know you.
All you
Right.
lesbians
I
look the
wouldn't be
same.
like, unless I was really wasted drunk and
Or
was
there's
like,
this woman
this
that you may
black
think is a lesbian who is
super-
not.
That might.
And she looks like Marsha Warfield, kind of, from Night Court.
All right.
And she's definitely not a lesbian. She has a husband, and she touches his penis, and somehow he gets aroused. So I would
Okay.
not.
All right.
throw
So
her
maybe
in that
I just
category.
assumed she was
not
a
a pleasant
lesbian.
Oh, God.
Jokes and Dreams.
Jokes and Dreams.
IamSamJ.com. Cleveland, and then I'll be in Rochester Saturday and Buffalo Sunday.
Nice.
And that's
You
it.
Sam J Comic on Twitter, right?
At Sam J Comic.
Yep. Nice.
Yes.
And Mr. Ike of the same variety.
Oh, jeez.
What do you got going on?
At the Sam Ike is my Twitter. You can check out some videos that I'm in with my sketch group, Friends of Gertrude, on the internet.
No, it's a unique title.
Yeah, it's a fucking sweet name. I came up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pumped about that
I've
one.
actually seen you guys at Improv Boston before.
Oh yeah, we played there. Yeah, yeah. I love being in that group. It's great, and I'm doing stand up at a few places this week. I'm at Nick's Thursday, and I'm doing a couple improv shows at IB and IA this week, and I'm doing stand up in New Hampshire. Fuck, I can't remember the date. It's Saturday.
For anybody that doesn't know, IA is Improv Asylum in the North End, and IB is Improv Boston in Cambridge.
I'm at IA on Tuesday. I'm at IB on Friday.
There you go.
Yeah.
And HIV on Saturday if he's lucky.
That's the best theater. That's my favorite improv theater.
Mr. Huffman, anything going on with you?
Just check me out on Twitter. Follow me there at unfunnyhack. I'm actually.
I love how that's your Twitter.
I haven't. It's and by the way, we didn't get to comment on it, but the sale apparently has been finalized with Vivid Entertainment. Miss Farrah Abraham from Teen Mom Sex Tape should be coming out soon. So
nice.
I think I'm going to review that because the conquering thing that Sam Mike was talking about. Like I hate her and I hate her face, but I want to see her. Like I want to see James Dean plow her and
just like that the girl Miss Teen Delaware. It's the same thing. I love it.
Ugh.
So we get to
boring lay that broad was.
So there is also a sense of accomplishment jerking off to somebody you hate.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'll jerk off. I think I might be too angry to, or I might be angry
he
enough.
might hurt himself.
I might get, or I might get angry. Yeah,
that's phenomenal. Brianna, anything going on with you?
I will have some dates coming up at the Comedy Studio. Right now, it's looking like July 3rd is going to be my first date there. So that's exciting news.
There you go.
For me.
I know somebody that's on that show.
Yeah?
I was just talking to somebody who said they were doing the studio on July 3rd, and they were talking about how it sucked because they were going somewhere on the 4th, and how it was like a huge inconvenience. But
poor them.
Yeah.
Shit.
But then
getting a date at a comedy.
Yeah. Well, they were saying like how it sucked. Like they were like, oh yeah, damn it,
I wanted to hit the road early and skip the traffic and be.
But then and then I was like, well, where are you going? And he was like, oh, Brockton. I was like, you're going down the street. You're not going out of state. I thought you were going out of state. What conversation are we having?
That's
phenomenal.
Yeah, and then you can find all my stuff on BrieClassen.com.
All right.
So.
And I'll be DJing at Tavern Square this Saturday night, 10 to 2 a.m. Cambridge, Mass, Tavern Square, right on Mass Ave. So check that out.
It's got a great little DJ booth.
I know, it's a little fun time for everyone.
I couldn't even find you.
I hide me away.
Because you're like way up there.
I know. And make sure you get all episodes right on aeradioshow.com. And, we got Geek Talk up next, right, here on Unregular Radio?
Geek Beat La Radio.
Geek Beat La Radio, all right. And I just want to thank Dr. Steve and Craig Landgren for calling in today and being part of our show. And I guess that's it for this week. Next week, what are we going to go on next week, Jay? Off the top of your head, you know?
Well, there's the music guest, I believe, Ashley something. I don't have the website.
Oh, I got it right now. I'm bringing it up real quick. Real quick. We've got Chris McGonigal coming back on. Music guest Ace Dollface and the Frankie Lightning Band.
Wanted to reschedule some of these.
Josh Day, and then we got calling in. We got Liza Stinton from Big Brother Canada calling in, and
talk about those gets, huh?
Oh yeah, I'll talk about how I met her. That's the funny part. I met her before.
Has she touched your penis?
Not yet.
You guys have Nail Hair coming up soon.
A few weeks, and then we got the PWA show calling in. All right, so we gotta get the hell out of here. This is Unregular Radio. It's the Entertainment Radio Show. Thank you guys for coming on, and we'll see you guys next week.
up, everybody? Adam Mallet here with your quick sports update. In baseball, pitcher Matt Moore became the first Rays pitcher to win his first 4 starts of the season. Also, the Colorado Rockies are off to a surprising 13-5 start to the season. In hockey, rookie goaltender Victor Fast made 24 saves as the Ducks defeated the Oilers 3-0 on Monday to win the division for the first time since 2007. In football, the Jets finally traded Darrell Revis to the Bucks for the 13th overall pick in this year's draft and a conditional selection for next year. Revis has signed a 6-year, $96 million contract. In basketball, the NBA playoffs are underway. In the first round in the East, the Bulls versus the Nets, the Bucks versus the Heat, the Celtics versus the Knicks, the Pacers versus the